Hello, welcome to another video. For this video's OCs, I based them on the gay and lesbian flag. The gay flag's OC's name is Cyril, which I think is how you pronounce it, and the lesbian's OC's name is Ezra. Ezra definitely took the longest. I had a hard time figuring out her color scheme, but I got Cyril's down pretty quickly. I started this drawing with Cyril since he was the most fleshed out in my head in terms of designs. Originally, I gave him a hoodie shirt, but after messing with it, trying to make it longer or baggier, I just felt like it wasn't working, so I swapped it out with a jacket and a t-shirt. I knew I wanted to give him a somewhat similar silhouette to Rowan, my non-binary OC I did, where the top and shoes were a bit bigger, so on top of the puffier jacket, I also went with some chunky shoes. I based the shoes off some shoes I found on Pinterest, but simplified them down a bit. I usually go with the pretty basic and generic shoes when drawing characters, so working on drawing shoes is something I like to improve on, so maybe one day I'll make a study with me video all about shoes. I added some basic jeans to his fit and made them a little bit long so he would scrunch up at the bottom as well. While working on the pose, I had some issues with the proportions of his arms. The arm touching his head, I adjusted accordingly, but the hand in his pocket was actually technically a bit off. It made his pants have to jut out awkwardly, but since I swapped out his shirt for a jacket, I just moved his hand to go inside the jacket's pocket and it was good enough. Technically, I probably should have adjusted it a bit, but I thought it looked good enough. When designing his jacket, I already knew how I wanted the colors to lay out, but at the very end, I decided to add some patches. Since I was finishing the rest of the design, I just thought his jacket was lacking something. I'm not too sure about the coloring for the patches since I tried to use the green colors to make it not blend in as much with his jacket, but I think they look fine enough. Also, I think the flag might be a bit too big, but also it has a lot of stripes on it, so I'm not sure if I really would have been able to shrink it much and still make it look good. But in the future, I might mess with it a bit more. If you saw my video with the non-binary OC Rowan, then you know they had some space patches on him, so I decided to put some space patches on Cyril and Cyril. And I like to think they like to talk about space together. When coloring his outfit, even though I knew the shoes would be the greens and the jacket would be the blues, I wasn't sure how else to divide up the colors. I ended up deciding to go with a very light gray that leaned towards the blue for his pants and just making his hair black. I tried using the colors for his hair and it just felt like too much and I had the same issues with the pants, so I decided to give myself some leeway and just go with some more or less black and white tones for the rest of his fit. After finishing Cyril's, I worked on the lesbian flag OC Ezra. She was honestly really hard to get the design of. I had a totally different look for it in my sketchbook, but I never really liked it. But the reference photo I was using for the pose I thought had a really good outfit for her, so I decided to end up just using that outfit and changing the designs on the shirt as well as changing the hair. I feel like it's a somewhat more stereotypical outfit, but I think it works well. The hardest part was actually the coloring. Oranges and pinks are usually colors I don't use since I'm not that big of a fan of those colors, especially orange. So I felt like anything I did with the colors looked off. Even now, I'm not 100% happy, but I think that has to do with the fact that I don't really like the colors to begin with. So I think in reality, it's probably fine, but just since I don't like really using orange or pink in my artwork that much, I'm probably never going to be totally content with the color scheme. I ended up asking a friend for help with the entire color scheme since I was struggling so much. I added a flag to her shirt as well, and because of this I had to switch her to stand in front of Cyril. I actually preferred my original idea where Ezra would be behind Cyril, but if I did that you wouldn't be able to see the flag, so I had to keep her in front instead. Overall, I think her design has the highest chance of getting touched up in the future. Oh my god. Okay, sorry, my neighbor's car alarm keeps going off, and I'm not even sure if they're turning off or if it's just the car alarm turning off automatically for a few seconds because it keeps going off every like 10 seconds. It's really annoying. So I'm gonna try to finish this recording before it goes off again. But as I was saying, I preferred Ezra to be behind Cyril, but in the end I ended up putting her in front of Cyril, otherwise the flag would have been covered. Overall, I think her design has the highest chance of getting touched up on in the future, but for now it's fine. But also considering I never draw female characters, like ever, I think she turned out surprisingly good, and she definitely reads as female, which I'm very happy of. But yeah, in the end, Cyril's design is definitely my favorite, and they both may need some touch-ups in the future, but I like how they both came out. Like Rowan, they will also be available on my Redbubble, which is linked below if you ever want them on anything. I still have the trans flag and ace flag left. I already have an outfit idea for the trans one, and the ace flag is just a small redesign of an OC for the ace flag I made about a year or two ago. I'm hoping to get them both out this week, but we'll see. I might sneak in some Spider-Man or Zelda drawings in between. If you haven't seen my last video with Rowan, I'll make sure to include it in the end card. It's got a really good response, which I'm really happy about. So if you guys want to see more, make sure to subscribe and comment what you think about the designs.